Hi everyone, I'm Matt Weiner and welcome to this edition of Hardwood Classics on NBA TV. We'll take you back to Game 3 of the first round of the 91 playoffs in this edition. The number 2 seed Spurs had come off a 55-win season, piling up 11 more victories than the 7th-seeded Warriors. However, Golden State was able to steal Game 2 on the road, and Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, and Chris Mullin were looking to continue that momentum on their home floor. With the series tied at 1, let's see if the trio called Run TMC could propel the Warriors to a victory in Game 3.
Along with Rick Barry, Bob Neal with you from the Oakland Coliseum for tonight's third game in the first round series between Golden State and San Antonio. They are tied at 1 game each. The tip-off is up, and this game is underway. For San Antonio, Willie Anderson, Terry Cummings, Sean Elliott, David Robinson, and Rod Strickland open the game, and Elliott, broken nose and all, hits the first basket. It's up 2-0 San Antonio. It's Mario Elie, Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin, Jim Peterson, and Mitch Richmond starting for Golden State. That is the Golden State small lineup, the curveball that Don Nelson threw at San Antonio to steal Game 2 down in Texas.
And that's the way they did it, Bob. They had penetration. Guys are spotting up. They kick it out for the outside shot. Very reminiscent of the way European teams play.
Mitch Richmond with the basket for Golden State. It's tied at 2.
Sean Elliott didn't take long to show us that the eye guard was not going to bother him.
Rod Strickland, and it's 4-2 San Antonio. Several key matchups in the game, but probably the one we'll be talking about and seeing as you look at the Jeep Eagle lineup here the most will be the Strickland-Hardaway matchup.
And right now, Jake O'Donnell was talking to both Peterson and to David Robinson. They were banging each other pretty good to start this ball game off. Look for the Spurs to be much higher emotionally. Larry Brown felt that was their downfall. They weren't ready to play emotionally in Game 2.
And perhaps much more physical. Richmond on his slashing drive to the basket. Rebound, David Robinson. Strickland, number 1, Hardaway's 10. Great matchup there. Here's Cummings. He scores down low over Mario Elie.
Got the size advantage there, and obviously they're going to try to exploit that. And Larry wants to take advantage. He thinks of the differences that they have in matchups that are positives for them, as opposed to Nelson doing it the reverse.
Elie kisses it off the ground, gets his own offensive board, sticks it back. Mario Elie. This is a CBA veteran who has also played in Portugal, Argentina, Ireland, and Miami, drafted by Don Nelson in the 7th round of the 1985 NBA draft. Nelly said he'd even forgotten about it.
And he's quite a story.
Robinson, hard to the hole, count the back, no, wave it off. Traveling David Robinson.
Well, you can see when David gets the ball, he's going to draw a lot of traffic. They don't want to give him a whole lot of room to maneuver. The Warriors like to either get the ball up the floor quickly and get good opportunity shots before the San Antonio defense gets set, or to go ahead and use the clock, work it, penetrate, kick it out. They're not in the big rush if they don't get the early opportunity.
Jim Peterson stripped away by David Robinson. He's all the way. Robinson, in a lot of people's mine included, the defensive player of the year in the NBA. Shows you one of the reasons why. Not only block shots, but he can make the steals and play the team defense as well. 8-4 Spurs. Golden State ball, last off the hands of Rod Strickland.
Last time down, you saw David Robinson didn't block the shot, but he intimidated it. He would have a whole lot more responsibility, I think, or credit you should give him for disrupting a team's offense with his play inside.
Chris Mullin, defense by Sean Elliott. That's, of course, a key to the Mullin's production. Nice handoff to Tim Hardaway for the lay-in.
That's another good thing the Warriors do. The Warriors like to go and cut to the basket. They love to play for angles. This is something that Nelly really instructs them on, getting good angles to make cuts.
Illegal defense called against Golden State. Jim Peterson, the man out of position. There is Don Nelson.
Against the Warriors, the first is a warning.
Don Nelson, his 249th playoff game as either a player or a coach. Strickland for 3. Kept alive by Cummings, controlled by Willie Anderson. Inside to Robinson, turnaround jumper. Over Jim Peterson.
Good quick move. He's able to get it off before any help could come. The Spurs are going to have to hit outside shots. The Warriors almost insult them and say, hey, if you're going to beat us, you better hit some outside jumpers.
Mullin denied the penetration, has to pull it back out. the double team on Mullen. We got the foul.
Number 32, Sean Elliott.
On that play is what I like to see a guy do when you get double, is to try and go ahead and step in between them and split the double team so you have more options to be able to get rid of the basketball. If you don't have your dribble, of course, it's a great way to break it down.
Sean Elliott picks up the personal. Richmond slashing to the hoop again. Pass David Robinson. Mitch Richmond, one of the members of Run TMC. If you're a West Coaster, you know all about Run TMC. That's Tim and Mitch and Chris. Anderson. Rebound. Hardaway.
And those are the kind of shots they must hit if they expect to win.
Ellie with a power jam. Mario Ellie. A 27-year-old rookie. Tied at 10. Cummins' shot was bothered. Rebound Elliott. Foul underneath.
Let's watch Ellie on the last move. Going to get the ball kicked right back from Chris Mullen. Great pass because there was no defender there. Ellie wisely took it strong to the basket because he had the clear path. And that's the way you play the game. Just pass the ball to the open man and go to the hole if you can.
He knows in the CBA you better take it hard to the hole.
Yeah, you get drilled pretty good when you're playing there. But this is a young man who obviously shows that perseverance does pay off. He hasn't given up, and he's gotten his chance, and he's making the most of it.
Mario Ellie, by the way, is 6'5", 210 pounds. His first NBA experience was with Philadelphia because he was cut by the Bucks when he was drafted in 1985. It's a one-point Spurs lead, 7:43 remaining, first quarter. Bob Neal, Rick Barry with you from Oakland, California. Richmond.
Penetration, he's going to kill the Spurs. If he can continue to get in there, he's got such good shooters to kick it to on the outside, and when guys are dropping in to help out, that leaves the shots open on the wing.
Richmond with 6 points early, looking for Cummings, posted down against Ellie. Tough job here for Ellie. He's only 6'5", remember. Strickland for 3.
Again, you see how he insulted him. He let him take that shot.
Cummings, bumped by Ellie, didn't get the shot off. Peterson, big strong rebound. If you remember Jim Peterson from Houston, he's lost weight, gained quickness. Richmond has 8. And he's fouled, a chance to go to the line.
And that's, again, quickly up the court. Get the early offense. Otherwise, they'll pull it out and slow it down. Try and get penetration. They're really executing Nelly's game plan to proficiency here. There you go. You see, he draws 3 defenders, kicks it out to the wing. Richmond's open. Anderson picks up the silly foul running by him. But what a difference now in Hardaway's play. In the first game, he had a little difficult time, and Rod Strickland had a big game. But in game number 2, he came back strong, and he's off to a good start here tonight. And Mitch Richmond, obviously, has really got the hot hand working.
Richmond with 9 first quarter points. Richmond's average 22.5. That's 5.5 rebounds in the first 2 games of this series. This series is even at 1 apiece. Elliott with the face guard. Remember, he has the broken nose. Hardaway for 3. He has 5 points.
He doesn't have the prettiest shot in the world, but it goes in.
A 12-1 Golden State run. Looking for Robinson. Peterson all over him down on the baseline. It's a battle down inside. 10 to shoot.
Timeout, Warriors.
Golden State Warriors call a timeout after the whistle
and the foul. With
6:20 to go in the first quarter, 7-point Warriors lead. Hardaway and Richmond, 14 of 18 points for Golden State. 2 of the big 3 have been. Robinson with the pump fake. Peterson is a block. He got it again. They're on their feet here at the Coliseum for Jim Peterson. He made his first playoff start ever 2 games ago. Hardaway missed Peterson on the inbounds pass, but Jim Peterson is the big man in this small lineup.
That was a shame there because Peterson was open. He took his eye off, anticipated Hardaway shooting. You never do that until the ball's on its way to the basket. Had he been alert, he had a layup.
7-point Warriors lead. Here's Robinson again. There's the double team. Shoots over it. David Robinson.
David's got to just turn and do it quickly like he had done the prior time down on the left block. Can't waste time because the double will come and bother him.
Hardaway isolated against Strickland, the pull-up jumper. He has the reputation of what they call the UTEP two-step, which is his crossover dribble, and everybody likes to lay off of that thing, fearful of how he can take it to the hole.
Yeah, Magic just raves about it, says it's the best he's ever seen.
Cummings posted down low and gets his 4th points. And now it's 20-15 Warriors with 5:10 to go, first quarter. Mullen with the bad pass. It'll be a turnover.
What happened there is he knew where Jim Peterson was when he made his move. As he made his move, Peterson moved. Chris never knew that. He threw it to where Peterson was prior.
5-point Warriors lead. Willie Anderson, as Mitch Richmond goes to the floor, gets it to rattle home. Anderson has his first basket of the night. Following the timeout, San Antonio adjusts, and they're coming back strong. Mullen fouled, goes for the shot intelligently.
Yeah, he got Terry Cummings in the Paratrooper Club, made him pay his dues.
Chris, who hasn't scored in the game thus far, has averaged 28 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, and 4 assists in these first 2.
The Spurs have done a good job of weathering a very tough onslaught by the Warriors here early in this ballgame. The crowd was really hot and heavy into the game. They were trailing by quite a few points. And right now they seem to be settled down, taking their time a little bit, and they don't seem to be bothered by the Warriors' quick run.
So Mullen breaks his scoring ice and is on the board. It's a 5-point Warriors lead. Strickland looking for Robinson. Here's the double team. Now they get off of it. Got a hold before Cummings got the ball down there.
And it's obvious that the game plan for Larry Brown is to try to, again, take advantage of what he feels are mismatches in his favor, and that is Cummings against Ellie. That's 3 times now they've gone inside to Cummings. He scored on 2 occasions, picked up a foul on the 3rd one. So that works very well if they can get him in the proper position.
Ellie has 2 personal fouls. Will go to the bench, and in comes Rod Higgins. Higgins 6'7" in his 9th year out of Fresno State.
And again, they just insulted the ball, hit the shot clock up above. But when they're out there, they're saying, hey, you guys don't shoot 3-pointers. Again, Hardaway has made more 3-point field goals himself than the entire San Antonio Spurs team.
Gains a 5-point lead. Richmond on the drive. Got a push out, so that'll be a foul.
Right, that's what Jake O'Donnell's saying. He said, I got a push out, I got to call a foul. He was out of bounds, but he was pushed out. Here we go. There's the bump with here, got a little bump with the body, and this caused the right foot just to touch the out of bounds line.
So that's 2 on Willie Anderson early and 14 fouls on San Antonio. They'll be into the penalty on the next one. 3 team fouls against Golden State with 4:11 to go in the first quarter.
And with Pressey in the ballgame, he's been their main guy off the bench. He's gotten 20 of their 28 points off the bench for San Antonio in the first 2 games.
Strickland with the near steal. Richmond kicks it to Hardaway. That's for 3. Hardaway has 10 points. Richmond has 9. Strickland lost Hardaway there and had to draw the foul. That's the only way they can stop him. It's on Jim Peterson.
Yeah, and Jim didn't step out that time when the screen was being set by David Robinson, and that gave Strickland a lot of room to operate. And Peterson really was dead at that point.
2 personals on Peterson early in the ballgame. Rod Higgins, who came into the game just a minute ago, wears number 22, by the way, is the only player remaining on this Golden State team who was on the team when Chris Mullen was drafted. That's the complete changeover of this team by Don Nelson.
Well, they've done a great job here, not only with Don and the team he's been trying to put together, but also in selling basketball again to the Bay Area. 100 straight sellouts now for the Warriors. They've done a great job here. Dan Kanan and the group, Jim Fitzgerald, the new owner.
Skip pass to Mullen from long range over Sean Elliott, and Mullen has 4.
He's, without question, one of the great pure shooters in the game today.
Cummings with a give and go to Sean Elliott. Nice play. It was Strickland to Cummings to Elliott.
Smart play by Elliott because Chris Mullin turned his head to watch when the pass went in. When that happened, Elliott made the cut to the baseline. That's what you do. Your man turns his head to watch the ball, cut to the basket. Your teammate should get you the ball.
Warriors by 6, 3:15 to go first quarter. Mullin trying to get in the paint, denied the penetration.
Robinson's not guarding anybody. That's got to be illegal defense because Peterson's out way above the three-point line. This is what they did to him in game 2 in San Antonio, trying to take David out of the game defensively by bringing Peterson way high. So they're going to have to make some quick switches and have Robinson go on somebody else. But then the other guy's a little quick for him.
You know how reluctant he is to leave his neighborhood. Here comes Tyrone Hill out of Xavier, their #1 draft choice this year. He's the man whose elbow broke Sean Elliott's nose. Hardaway with a hard drive. 10 to shoot for Golden State. Richmond for 3.
And you better not insult these guys because they can shoot.
Richmond has 12. Hardaway has 10. 9-point Warriors lead. Elliott for 3.
Again, they can't make the opportunity outside shots.
Richmond kept that defensive board alive. The rifle pass Mullin intended for Tyrone Hill out of bounds. It'll be Golden State ball. Spurs get the timeout with 2:29 to go in the first quarter. Trying to lob it in to Mullin, who was just being manhandled by Elliott. 6 seconds to shoot. Mullin in the paint, kicks to Tyrone Hill for the open jumper. Rebound Cummings.
Well, he had a good game 2. He was 4 for 4 from the field, but starts off with a miss on this one.
Warriors by 9. 2 minutes to go first quarter. Hill now playing Robinson. Pushes him away from the block. Mullin gets the board. Here comes 3-on-2.
Inside the last 2 minutes.
Richmond with a pull-up.
I tell you, Bob, the Warriors are executing Nelly's game plan to perfection. They're getting opportunity jump shots or layups off of transition. If they don't do it, they set it up, they go in, they kick it out. I mean, it's really something to behold. It's been fantastic.
Richmond has 14 points.
Here's the play again. Here he takes his time, waits for his people to help out, then he kicks it out to the wing. He's got the hot man. Now, see, that's smart basketball. Who did he throw the ball to, Bob? He threw it to the guy he knows who's really been making everything he's throwing up, Mitch Richmond.
Tyrone Hill committed the foul. By the way, that puts the Warriors into the penalty. Spurs will send the Warriors to the line, shooting or not, next time they commit a foul with 1:38 to go in the quarter. And here's David Wingate into the game.
And they missed him in game number 2 because he didn't have much help on the bench, Larry Brown, that is. And now Sharunas Marciulionis is in for the Warriors. And boy, has he been something in the first 2 ball games. He's been terrific for them, scoring. He drives to the basket very strongly. They haven't been able to contain him. And so Nelly's using a lot of people.
Marciulionis wears number 13. 16 points. 3 rebounds and a steal in 19 minutes on Saturday.
Yeah, those are big numbers for those minutes.
Great outside shooter, shoots the air ball on his opener.
That's smart. Run up and down the floor a few times before you do that, or drive to the basket. Get yourself loose and into the game.
There's David Wingate. You see the tape on the left side. He has a hamstring. Sidney Green is into the game also because of his inside strength. As he gets his own offensive miss, he will jump it up.
Again, trying to take advantage of the mismatches. As Larry Brown said, he's going to try to exploit them as best he can.
So far, Don Nelson staying with that small lineup.
Like I say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's working well for him, and why go away from it?
Green to Wingate. Inside pass to Elliott. Not a rejection, but a foul first.
That's a major yeast that time on the part of Mitch Richmond to get up there to block that two-handed dunk attempt by Sean Elliott.
23, Mitch Richmond.
His first
personal foul.
Here we go. Now watch what's going to happen on the weak side. Elliott makes a good move. He got his defender coming at him. We talk about how you can beat a guy all the time. Look at Richmond get up there.
Elliott has really come on for San Antonio. Everybody talks about David Robinson, David Robinson, David Robinson, but the man who's come on so much to really spur the Spurs, no pun intended, has been Sean Elliott.
And he will get better. He works very hard at the game. He's a terrific person, great attitude, and has a lot of ability.
Under a minute to go first quarter, 7-point Warriors lead. Marciulionis defensed by Sidney Green.
No way out there can Sidney guard him.
10 to shoot. Marciulionis is going to take it to the hoop and then kick it out. Bad play by Marciulionis. Elliott passed Hardaway, then Marciulionis commits the foul.
Sharunas got caught hanging in the air that time, and with Sidney backing off that far, you can't get by a guy who plays you 2 steps back, Bob. He has to be able to hit the jumper to pull Sidney back out on him. Here's the end of the play. You see he got caught in the air. The Spurs did a good job of collapsing inside, cutting off the passing angles, and Elliott just takes it strong to the basket. Marciulionis reached in and picked up a little ticky-tack foul.
Good body control by Elliott to get that layup.
He shoots the ball a little flat, however. That's the problem a lot of players have today. They shoot at the basket instead of up to the basket.
Another Golden State turnover. Here's Wingate, but right behind him is Hill.
Turnovers kill you when you're playing in tough competition. In game number 2, the Warriors only had 10, the Spurs 19. You can't make plays like that and expect to win against good ball clubs.
A run by the Spurs here, and it's a 3-point game with 20 seconds to go in the quarter.
As hot as the Warriors have been, and as big a lead as they had, the Spurs have gotten themselves right back in it. If I'm Larry Brown, I got to feel pretty good about the way things look at this juncture.
Hardaway on the drive. He is fouled. Count the basket on the continuation. Wingate is definitely slowed by the hamstring. An outstanding defensive player, one of the 2 best perimeter defenders on that San Antonio team.
Watch Hardaway. There's that through the leg. He comes over, and then the move through the leg, and just quickly goes to his left. That was not an exceptional move where he did something to really fake Wingate out. Wingate was just slow reacting.
You just have to question if he's slowed by that hamstring. It was pretty serious hamstring. He's wrapped up, and Willie Anderson in for David now with 8.7 seconds remaining in the period. And an opportunity for the Warriors to go up by 6 points here if Hardaway drops the free throw.
Sean Elliott getting the rest as well. Got Pressey, Anderson, Green, and Avery Johnson, who was picked up. He was up at Seattle. I remember him from up at Seattle. And I just went to Denver for a little bit. Now he's found the home. He's a great passer and ball handler. Can't shoot very well, though.
But he was fouled. Was that before the buzzer?
Yes.
Yes. He'll go to the line to end this period. And that's the second personal, by the way, on Mitch Richmond. Avery Johnson was the subject of a little bit of what they call in the league trash talk from Tim Hardaway. As Hardaway blocked an Avery Johnson pass in the game the other night, was really seriously into his face verbally afterwards, and a lot of the Spurs have said that in fact has motivated them for this ball game.
You don't want to give him any fuel and has something to work on. Of course, Sean Elliott did a little something in his newspaper column that he's writing for one of the local papers in San Antonio, talking about Mullen and Tom Tolbert, saying that these 2 guys, they look like they should be wrestlers. If you put Speedo swimsuits on them, they could really be warriors and be a good tag team match.
They have added a second to the clock, by the way, as that's when the foul was committed. Avery Johnson's 5'11" out of Southern University. His 3rd year in the league. He's playing with a sprained big toe. Knocks down both the free throws with 1 second left. That'll end the quarter, and it is a 3-point Warriors lead. Robinson opens this period on the bench.
Yeah,
small team out there for San Antonio as well. Big game man there is 6'9" Sidney Green.
Well, that's why Nelly, went with the smaller team.
Hardaway with the lay-in. He has 14, as does Richmond.
Well, I tell you, he's just having a field day out there penetrating to the basket, and nobody's been able to stop him.
And Strickland has come up with only 4 points to answer at point position. Willie Anderson, nice turnaround jumper.
Again, there's the mismatch down inside, posting up the bigger guy against the smaller people, and something that the Spurs have done well so far this evening.
David Robinson will be back out on the floor momentarily, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, he got about as much rest as Larry used to give Danny Manning at Kansas.
Marciulionis, hard move to the hoop. It's knocked out of bounds with 9 seconds on the shot clock for the Warriors. And Robinson back in now. Sidney Green will sit down.
Jersey number 32, Tyrone Hill.
Well, they don't know who's going out of the ball game here. There's somebody reporting in for Hill, and then Hill had to go back and report in again to come in because they need him in the game with David Robinson coming back in.
So they're taking Mitch Richmond out. Don Nelson made 20 different substitutions in terms of lineup changes in game number 2. never did play as big men, either Lister or McKeskey.
Well, you know, the thing is, when you've got three really great players and the other people are almost interchangeable, that really gives you the luxury to do that. I remember Al Attles did that with us in '75 when we won. We had Jamal Wilkes, Phil Smith, and myself, and everybody else just played a lot.
With 2 seconds to shoot, Hardaway buries it and is fouled by Strickland.
I tell you, in game number 1, Strickland got the best of Hardaway. But so far in game 2 and up to this point, it has been all Tim Hardaway. Here's an example again of what he's able to do. Through the legs, back, he got him to back up, able to go ahead and fire it up there, drops it in, and Strickland picks up the foul on top of it. Look at this. Here's game number 1, 30-19, 13 assists to 8, 12 for 20 shooting, 8 for 20. And then look at game 2. Here's the free throw, first of all, Hardaway makes. Game number 2, different story entirely. 20-8, 9-7. Hardaway with a much better game, and so far tonight it's all Hardaway.
Warriors by 6. 10:52 remaining. Second quarter. Robinson over Hill. Tough shot. Good defense. Mullen rebound. He's double teamed and Pressey steals it. Anderson.
Number 40, Willie Anderson.
4-point Warriors lead. Mullen got into trouble, threw it back out here.
Well, I tell you what, great hustle by Robinson. He almost got him up with that ball, was going to get an easy dunk because Hill was just a little bit reluctant to go after it quickly, which would have been a backcourt. Now look at Robinson. Look at the sprint that he took from inside the free throw line, inside the circle. Almost came away with the ball.
It is San Antonio ball. Back into Robinson. That shot was blocked. Mullen comes away with it to Hardaway. 7 Golden State turnovers to only 2 for San Antonio. Mullen, tough fall-away shot.
And a great pass to get him the ball from Hardaway.
Mullen now has 6. Strickland isolated against Hardaway, looking for Robinson against Hill. Hardaway knocks it out with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Well, Hardaway really playing some ball game. I think he got inspired by your pregame interview.
No, I'll tell you, he's just a heck of a basketball player. He's a lot better than anybody ever thought.
5 to shoot. Strickland with the spin move. Air ball. Ellie with the rebound.
Mullen's wide open in the right wing.
Hardaway buries the 3. He has 19 points with 9:38 to go in the first half.
He's cool as a cucumber, too. Just look at him. He just has so much confidence exuding from him. His body language is so positive, and he's only in his 2nd year.
Larry Brown's going to get Cummings and Elliott back in the game to stop the bleeding, he hopes. Anderson punches inside of Ellie. Good defense by Ellie. Big rebound by the rookie Tyrone Hill. Out to Mullen, to Hardaway, to Marshallones, to the reverse. And the foul. 10-2 Golden State run.
If San Antonio doesn't put the ball in the basket, the Warriors are just drilling. And they're getting great transition. The transition defense by the Spurs is lacking. Out to Mullen, over to Hardaway. They've got 3-on-2. Marshallones with the crossover and under. Chance to go to the line. We got a timeout. And the Warriors enjoying a 9-point lead, 46-35.
Elliott against Marshallones.
That was Hill holding Robinson as he tried to cut across to the ball. But what I think is happening here is that the Warriors are doing a great job of stopping the Spurs from getting penetration and getting inside. There have not been a whole lot of shots inside for the Spurs other than a few of those post-up moves that they had. Technical foul is also called. Hill picked up the technical foul. Here you saw him as he was fighting Robinson across the middle.
You just saw him also picking up the technical there. And the substitution as Hill's going to sit down. Nelly's going to have a word or two with him as Tom Tolbert gets into the ballgame.
Tolbert truly one of the characters in the game. I mean, he was growing a goatee, and his mom made him get it off. Here he has to get the tee from Hill.
He got that for the grimace. It's flagrant grimace, I think. Robinson to the hole. He has 10 points.
And Robinson was just mauled that time going to the basket. No foul was called.
Higgins also in the ball game for Golden State. Hardaway. Oh, we got a foul on the hole. Oh, illegal defense.
Illegal defense violation resulting in a technical foul.
I think Cummings.
Yeah, and you know what they're doing again. See, the Warriors will take it when they don't have the quick opportunity, spread the floor out, and they had 6 illegal defenses called against the Spurs in the first 2 ball games. This is the second one in this ball game, and obviously the strategy is working. Larry felt that the team would have to adjust to that. They haven't done a real good job of it thus far.
Mullen knocks down the technical. Possession to Golden State and Tolbert.
Talk about Tolbert. He said when his dad told him about his goatee to get it off, he said, I can't repeat.
Barcelona's hard drive to the hoop. Slashing drive to the hoop by Sharonis. Marciulionis, he has 5 points all in this quarter.
He's very strong.
Lead.
Strong player. Really goes to the basket hard.
Elliott over Hardaway. Got a mismatch there.
But those, again, are the type of shots that the Spurs are going to have to make to force the Warriors to come out and play. And then you can get a chance to go and penetrate and get to the basket a little bit more. But first, you got to prove you can hit the open shot.
Now they've got Hardaway posted inside, which gives Marciulionis the chance to drive and kick it to Mullen. Rebound Cummings.
See, but you got to be smart as the Spurs, too. You don't drop off a Mullen on penetration.
Willie Anderson gets called for the offensive foul. Tolbert took the charge, and that's 3 fouls in this first half against Willie Anderson.
And Tolbert is the kind of player who puts his body on the line all the time for you. Here comes Willie. Let's see if Tolbert's set. I tell you what, I thought he was still moving when he went in there. I thought that should have been a foul on Tolbert, because you need to be set and stationary prior to the man making his commitment, not before he leaves the air, but once he's picked his dribble up, you better be there. Otherwise, it should be a block.
7:45 to go first half. Marciulionis hard to the hole again, stripped away by Cummings, but they're going to call the foul.
See, he just loves to go to the basket. I mean, he took that in there amongst 4 different Spurs. And the difference is the Warriors are able to get penetration. They've been doing it all night. Marciulionis is doing it. Hardaway is doing it. Yet the Spurs haven't had many opportunities like that.
See a lot of this kind of play in Europe with the drive to the hoop and the kick out.
Yeah, exactly right. And again, if you're the Spurs and you're on Mullen and somebody's driving, hey, you know you got David Robinson, other people, let them take them. You can't leave the shooters out there. Or what you do is you try and fake the defense out by moving away from them, but keeping yourself in the passing lane 1 step away. You can step in and pick off the pass.
10-point Warriors lead. Tolbert playing Robinson. Obviously a mismatch there if they can get it to Robinson. He's way off the block at the moment, though. Stripped away by Mullen. Out to Hardaway. Has Marciulionis. Look at the follow by Rod Higgins. Strickland, tough shot in the lane. Tolbert battling for it. Out to Marciulionis. Mullen in the corner. Marciulionis hard to the hole with the left hand. He has been a force. Golden State's biggest lead of the game. Marciulionis, 7 points in this quarter. 22nd timeout.
Here you're going to see Marciulionis. He just takes a little hesitation, and then strong. He saw he had a little move to the right, a little room, goes right against Cressy, and takes it up and drops it in.
Marciulionis was activated March 20th after spending a couple of weeks on the injured list with a strained left knee.
Bob, he said he's healthy. He said it's the first time that he's felt like he can go out and play the way he knows he's capable of playing without some nagging injury. Those are very impressive numbers you can see so far in this series, and he's off to another big night tonight.
He was the leading scorer for the Soviet Union in the '88 Olympic gold medal winning team in Seoul, South Korea.
He's doing a very nice thing back in Lithuania, opening up a sports program to try and help the youngsters there to keep Lithuanian basketball alive.
Golden State closed the lead by the Warriors to 4. San Antonio did, and then Golden State went on a 15-5 run to lead it now by 14. Elliott fouled hard by Tolbert.
And Elliott got the defender coming out at him, and then we talked about that all year long. I mean, you get somebody coming at you as a defensive player taking a big step. It's impossible for him to be able to prevent you from driving to the basket. Sean Elliott recognized it, took advantage of it, and gets to the line as a result.
In case you joined us late and think that this is Phantom of the Opera, it's not. Sean Elliott with a broken nose.
But just, yeah, it's not that he's a big Bill Lane beer fan. The thing is Deshaun set that play up. Why? Because the last time he hit a jump shot, okay? And so they respect the shot, so now you come out on him. If you're not a good shooter, you don't even have to think about coming out. And you don't have those opportunities then to drive.
Warriors by 12, 6:37 to go in the half. Tolbert, the point guard here. Actually, it's Hardaway with the ball against Strickland. Pick from Mullen, and the roll, and the shot.
That's terrible defense. That's just terrible defense right there.
Mullen now at 9. Cummings against Higgins. Bullet pass inside to Pressey. Robinson rebound. Marciulionis with the foul. His second. Well, David Robinson has not been the dominating force in this ball game that they will expect him to eventually be. He has 10 points, only 2 in this quarter.
Yeah, but right now the Spurs are just not functioning well on both ends of the court. They're having problems with their offense, and their defense is terrible. I watched the play, a little two-man play. Both guys go after the guy with the ball. That's no communication. There is no excuse for that to happen other than a lack of communication on the part of the players.
Warriors by 12, 6 minutes to go in the first half. Bob Neal, Rick Barry with you from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. History was made next door today. The Oakland A's New York Yankees did. Hardaway loses it out of bounds, 11 seconds to shoot. Ricky Henderson with his 939th stolen base career to break Lou Brock's record. With a playground move to get the hoop.
But again, the Spurs broke down defensively. Mullen was wide open right underneath the basket. They are not communicating well defensively right now.
Now Mullen in double figures with 11. Here's Robinson against Tolbert. Illegal defense against Golden State.
Illegal defense violation resulting in a technical foul.
There's Don Nelson. You know, he has really raised the level of his dress. I think he's asked our director, Lonnie Dale, to give him some fashion advice. He's got a fashionable tie and actual big boy shoes on.
Let's not get carried away. I mean, Lonnie's known affectionately as GQ, and I don't think Nelly's ever going to be in that class.
But he's definitely raised the level of dress.
Yeah, he certainly has. He doesn't have the basketball shoes on with tape all over him. He doesn't have his fish ties.
Those are adult shoes he has on. San Antonio 15 of 17 at the free throw line in this ball game with a 13-point Warriors lead. Robinson against Tolbert. Open man is Elliott.
Good ball movement. Good ball movement. They can't hit the open shot.
Higgins hard to the hoop.
And again, he was looking to kick it out. They're going to call him for an offensive foul on that one. But you notice the Warriors had all 5 people beyond the three-point line that time.
22, Ron Higgins. First personal foul.
I think that tells you what Nelly thought about the play.
Cummings kicks it to Pressey. It's knocked out of bounds, will belong to the Spurs with 10 to shoot. In case you missed our earlier game tonight, the Boston Celtics defeated Indiana 112-107 to take a 2-1 lead in that series. But Robinson has 12 points now.
50, David Robinson.
Marciulionis wanted the lane, got it cut off. He'll pull up for the jumper.
And I figured he would take a jump shot because he's made a number of shots driving, and that makes you feel confident.
Elliott with the carry. That'll be a turnover for San Antonio, only their 5th. Remember, San Antonio had 19 turnovers in each of the first 2 games.
Just watch the high dribble. He gets it up really high and takes it and goes down. Now, his hand was on top of the ball. I'll tell you, players do a lot worse than that when they grab it on the side and take it over when they make a drive to the basket.
He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Hardaway's jumper goes over the back of the rim with 4:25 to go in the first half.
Nelly didn't like that shot because they didn't come down quickly to get a transition situation. His defender was fairly close to him, and they didn't use a lot of time on the clock. And so Nelly tell him move the ball.
Pressey to Wingate. The lob to Robinson, missed the jam. Tolbert did a good job of holding on to Robinson. Hardaway hard to the hoop. Bad pass, Elliott.
Yeah, Hardaway got himself to the point where he had no angle to pass the ball, and all the defenders were covering the lanes.
Tim was too good on that break. Cummings fouled on the shot by Higgins.
You know, it's really true. He got too deep. He got by his people so easy.
So they banned him. Rod Higgins, second personal foul.
Second personal, number 22.
Very important stretch here, I think, for the Warriors if they want to come away with a win here. They want to keep a double-digit lead here. They don't want to let the Spurs cut into that. The Spurs can now get it down to 9. And I'm sure Larry Brown will be thrilled to have it under 9 going in at halftime. He's got plenty of time left at 3:53 to cut further into the lead. So a very important time for both teams here as far as who's going to have a little psychological edge to start the second half.
Larry Brown kept this basketball team away from the glitter and glamour of the San Francisco Bay downtown area. They stayed in Pleasanton, California.
I'll tell you what, there's also an aspect of the area around here that's not so glittery and glamorous that they wanted to keep them away from as well.
Tolbert open for the jumper.
Well, that worked great because, you know, Robinson's trying to get back into help on the penetration and left Tolbert open outside. And the difference is in this game, the Warriors are making the opportunity shots.
That was only about a 16, 17-footer, too. He has that range for sure. This is his third year from Arizona, Tolbert. Wingate gets the open shot. He doesn't convert.
They'll give him that all night long as Cummings made a good play to get the offense. And boy, you see Hardaway just drops totally off of him and say, hey, if you're going to beat us, Wingate, with the jumper, so be it.
Cummings, by the way, has only 7 points here in the first half. 10-point Warriors lead, 3 minutes remaining in the half. 10 to shoot for Golden State. There's that crossover and the drop back, and Hardaway misses his jumper. Good transition defense. First the double team on the lead pass, and then Hardaway stepped into the passing lane. Tolbert has it rejected by Mr. Robinson.
Not a very friendly neighborhood that time.
Who answers with the basket and draws the foul. Hardaway got him.
See, that's the thing about him. He's such a great athlete. He blocks the shot, and he's the guy down the other end laying it in and getting fouled.
Richmond. He hadn't put one up for a while, but he certainly hadn't cooled off. 16 points, his first in the quarter. Long rest for Mitch Richmond. Cummings with the double team, and Mullen almost got the ball. 10 to shoot. Mullen broke it up that time, stepped right into the passing lane.
Chris has exceptionally quick hands and great anticipation for playing the passing lanes.
Oh, Richmond with a beautiful move and a little too much dipsy-do at the end, I'm sure.
That was the easiest shot he had all night.
Wingate to the hole. David Wingate has 6 now. First time he's scored in a while.
The Spurs are in good shape despite everything that's happened here in the first half.
Absolutely. Trailing only by 7 with a minute 33 to go in the half. Spurs with so many weapons. Marciulionis that time ran into 3 black jersey Spurs.
Another block by David Robinson.
Another Golden State steal, but then the turnover as Tolbert kicked it out of bounds. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Rick Barry and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. Could be a tough call with so many players playing well here. Ellie comes in for Higgins.
And they've got Green that has returned back in the game along with Pressey for the Spurs.
Here comes Peterson for Golden State for the past minute 18. And Tolbert, who filled in very admirably, no pun intended, with his defense on David Robinson.
Oh, they just messed up there. As Green cut to the basket, nobody went with him.
Probably didn't have the assignments right on the substitutions. 5-point Warriors lead. Minute 10. Richmond open. Kicks it to Peterson. Hard to the hoop. Blocked by Robinson, who committed the foul.
It turned out to be okay, but I really think Mitch should have pulled up and taken the jumper. The way he's shooting the ball, you know, why did he take it all the way in there to prevent himself from getting a good opportunity jumper? I don't know.
Robinson's first personal.
43, Jim Peterson to the line.
Jim Peterson, who started again tonight, only his 2nd NBA start in the playoffs in his career. He's leaner, meaner, and quicker this year, he says. Coming up at halftime, Prudential halftime reporter Ernie Johnson and Lenny Wilkins are in our Atlanta studios. They'll have a recap of tonight's Celtics-Pacers contest, plus a feature on Utah's versatile Thurl Bailey.
I tell you, Bob, right now, the Spurs are so very fortunate to have David Robinson. He is keeping them within striking distance in this ball game.
Robinson has 17 points to go with his defense. 6 rebounds, block shots, intimidations. He has been the big factor so far for them. Under a minute to go in the half. Ellie stripped that away, but Elliott came back up with it. Very good court awareness, and Elliott was bumped in the nose on that play, was adjusting his mask. He's probably hurting some right now. 16 points for Sean. He's limping a little. His nose is hurting.
Welcome to the NBA, Sean.
6 seconds to shoot. Hardaway has to throw up a prayer. Unanswered.
Yeah, the Warriors are kind of like in fighting. You get saved by the bell here in the first half.
Elliott misses the 3. Hardaway with the rebound. Hardaway signals 1 shot with 16 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, things aren't going real good for the Warriors here in the last few minutes, and so they'll be fortunate that halftime is coming along.
See time remaining on the shot clock and game clock. Marciulionis hard to the hoop. He's fouled. Missed the shot, but will go to the line with 2.8 remaining.
Again, see, that's a matchup Sid Green can't guard Marciulionis out on the court. And Marciulionis loves to drive so much that when Sid drops off, Marciulionis takes up the slack a little bit. If he drops off, he'd take it up a little bit more. But he really is so determined to drive to the basket.
Avery Johnson back in for San Antonio, and Vincent Askew, second-year player out of Memphis State, comes in for Golden State. Richmond will go to the bench.
He didn't want Mitch to pick up some silly foul here with 2.8 seconds left.
Yeah, Richmond has 2 now. Nobody on Golden State's team with more than 2 personals here at the half. Full court pressure. Strickland. At the half, the Warriors with a 6-point lead. 65-59, Warriors by 6. Second half underway. There's the big 3 for Golden State. 47 points between them. Mark. Jim Peterson.
Yeah, both teams go with the same starting lineups.
Mario Ellie, the CBA, are stopping and popping. The offside rebound was almost stolen and converted by Hardaway. Willie Anderson carrying 3 fouls. Elliott inside to Cummings, posted over Ellie. That's the matchup they want. He couldn't convert and wasn't real successful in first half converting it. Peterson with the handoff to Ellie. Nice play by Peterson.
And the Spurs obviously still going to try and go down inside. Cummings took advantage of Ellie early in the game, got him in some foul trouble. That's why Ellie sat out.
Hardaway definitely won the battle of the point guards in the first half. Anderson tried to knife it inside to Cummings. Oh, Peterson left him, and he took it easily to the hole.
They thought that Chris had him, but Chris was out of position when Peterson was so intent on trying to get back to who? David Robinson. You got to worry about him as well.
Good ball movement by the Warriors. 10 to shoot. Now 6 seconds to shoot for Mullen. Fadeaway jumper.
I told you he can shoot. He can shoot it any way, anytime.
Mullen has 13. Down to Cummings again against Ellie. There's the double team. Got the foul on Ellie.
Well, he's not going to get a lot of breaks. New guy in the league, trying to play against one of the stars in Cummings. There's a little bump. Watch, Mullen comes in, got a hand on it, and right there they call him for a little bit of a bump.
If I told the officials he speaks 4 languages, would they give him more respect?
Well, he could probably say something in a language that he might not get a T for.
How many seconds?
Rebound Peterson.
See the difference in penetration. Strickland penetrates, and he stops and throws up a tough shot. Hardaway penetrates, and a lot of times he's able to get all the way to the basket.
There's the penetration, the kick out to Ellie over Cummings. Hardaway Denied the rebound. Stolen by Ellie. To Mullen from 17.
And that's so smart. Give it up to the guy who can really shoot it coming towards the basket. Great play by Ellie. That's why Don Nelson likes him.
It's like the Wild West. You see the cavalry come across the hill. Form of Chris Mullen. Strickland, by the way, can't throw it in the ocean tonight. He's 1 of 8. That's goaltending. Count that when he's 2 of 9.
Goaltending, credit the basket to number 1. Rod
71-63. Warriors by 8. 9:22 to go. Third quarter. This series is tied 1 game each. Golden State 1 game 2 down in Texas, trying to defend their home court, something that's been difficult to do in the playoffs this year. Mullen is hot. He's got 17 points. He had 11 at the half.
And he came out looking to be offensive minded. He only took 5 shots, I think, in the first half. 4 for 5 he was.
Willie Anderson hits an 18-footer.
40, Willie Anderson.
Mullen in incredible physical condition. By his own words, he exchanged one addiction, that of alcohol, for another, that of physical condition. His regimen makes Rocky look like a wimp.
He's got like 6% body fat.
Not this time. Cummings with the rebound. Strickland's out on the left. Elliott. Peterson with the foul. Late call. Crowd didn't like it at all.
Yeah, one of the few times the Warriors didn't do a good job in transition defense. I think they all expected Chris to make the shot. But you see, even if he missed it, Bob, what I like, you got a guy who he has the hot hand, and they get the ball to him. And that's the way the game should be played. No matter who has the hot hand, you go to him.
The 2-time defending world champion Detroit Pistons are experts at finding their hot hand.
Number 1, Rod Strickland.
Yeah, meanwhile, they're still sticking in there, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
And the longer they're around, the more you have to fear them.
Paul Pressey's going to get in the game for Terry Cummings.
Number 34, Terry Cummings.
We'll, by the way, have Detroit-Atlanta as our first game tomorrow night as we continue our doubleheader coverage of the NBA playoffs on TNT. Second game will be Phoenix at Utah. Tonight, in case you missed it earlier, Boston beat Indiana 112-107 to take a 2-1 lead in that series.
That's where Jim Peterson is.
And more importantly, where's David Robinson? Just legal, as they'd say it.
Oh, Peterson could have gone right to the basket. Richmond saw it. Peterson had no idea. Robinson didn't pick it up. If he goes to the hole, he catches the pass and gets a dunk.
Peterson has struggled tonight. He's been playing well, but not tonight. He may be concentrating so much on that now. Anderson from the corner shoots the air ball. Hardaway, look at him push it. Oh, the follow, no. They're going to wave it off. Offensive basket interference. But Ellie brought the crowd to their feet. This man, the CBA guy who played also in Europe, was a 7th-round draft choice of the Warriors back in '85. A great athletic player.
And you can see as he made that play there, the ball from that angle is hard to see, but this one we probably will see it. It still is within the imaginary cylinder that extends beyond the basket. It will be laying on the outside of the rim. You can see it was still there. It was an excellent call by the officials. Good hustle by Ellie. Tough break.
Fortunately, though, we got to see the action, which is what counted for us. Peterson ties up Anderson. Oh, excuse me. Make that Marciulionis, who just checked into the lineup. Anderson should be no contest on this leap. Marciulionis got it pretty well. Richmond went for the steal and missed it. Pressing. Peterson rebound. Richmond has Marciulionis with it. He'll pull up.
I didn't like that shot. Nobody was underneath the basket. I don't care if he has the hot hand. I think he should have pulled that one out. Look what results in it. They get a goaltending call back down the other end. The Warriors right now have not done a good job a couple of different times in responding to transition defense. And Nelly's going to take a timeout and talk to him about that, I'm sure.
And Strickland has come up with 6 points in this quarter after being held to only 4 in the entire first half. And it's only a 4-point Golden State lead.
Right now, I think if the Warriors don't get another run and get it up to double-figure lead again, I think San Antonio will be able to win this ball game. If the Warriors get another spurt and get it up to over 10, the Spurs might come up short and the deep hole may take effect.
Mullen, who's feeling it. He's picking up the slack of the other two of the big three and now has 19. 7 in the quarter. Anderson gets his own rebound. Robinson kept it alive. Picked up by Hardaway.
A tough break for the Spurs. Willie Anderson made a couple of great moves. He just couldn't get the ball to drop.
Mullen with play instructions. Marciulionis, guess what? Takes it to the hole. Wisely kicked it out for the three that was missed by Hardaway. As Marciulionis went down, he made actually an effective pass. Wingate. Good pressing. Ten to shoot. Pressey fouled as he comes to penetrate the lane to accept the pass, but Marciulionis.
10, Tim Hardaway.
The Spurs doing a nice job when the ball goes into Robinson. If they go down to double, of the players who are being guarded by the man that goes to double are making good cuts to the basket. Robinson's found them on a number of occasions, and so they are taking advantage of what the Warriors are doing defensively.
Hardaway picked up his second personal there. Coming up tomorrow, we'll have more playoff action for you as Pressey goes to the line and hits the first one. Starting at 8 Eastern time, Detroit at Atlanta. Detroit leading 2-1. And then Phoenix will be at Utah in the nightcap of the doubleheader. Mel Proctor, Jack Givens will have that first game. I'll be joining Hubie Brown over in Salt Lake City before returning back here to the Golden State area for the game on Friday. 4-point Warriors lead. 10 to shoot as Mullins isolated. Draws the double. 7 seconds to shoot for Golden State. Tyrone Hill, the rookie, into the game to Mullen. Nobody will catch Robinson.
That's scary.
His speed is incredible.
I know. Look at how he anticipated, came up with the big steal, and he's been such a big factor for him. And again, turnover, hurting the Warriors.
19 points for Robinson. It is a 2-point game. Excellent interior defense. Marciulionis just had to throw that ball up there. Warriors standing around in the half-court game. Elliott fouled by Tyrone Hill. Wave off the basket.
Yeah, the Warriors have definitely broken down. They executed Nelson's game plan to perfection for most of the first half. We mentioned that they seemed to be stalling towards the end of the second quarter, and that's exactly what happened. Here's the play by Robinson again. He's able to knock away the pass by Chris Mullen. Chris threw it across his chest area, and a bounce pass is a tougher pass for a big man to handle. Just a bad pass on the part of Chris Mullen. Good anticipation by Robinson. But again, you could see the Warriors struggling at the end of the second quarter. It seems to have carried over here beginning the third quarter, and as a result, they're looking at being tied right here if Elliott can drop this next free throw in.
Spurs 1 point away. Ellie checks back into the game for Mitch Richmond this time. A little more tenacious defense out of Ellie.
Tell you, they're taking the crowd out. You can just, the crowd is sitting here a little stunned right now. They're all pumped up. Everything's going great. Everybody's hitting the shots. All of a sudden, they're looking at a tie ball game.
It's tied at 75 with 4:59 remaining. San Antonio last led 11-10, and the Spurs are on a 12-2 run. Mullen has gone somewhat cold the last 3 or 4 times he's had the ball in his hands. Strickland has heated up against Hardaway. Rebound Mullen.
Unfortunately for the Warriors, the Spurs still can't hit the consistent outside jump shot, but you knew the Warriors couldn't shoot at that 65% for the whole game.
Ellie is fouled by Paul Pressey.
See, that's another thing. If you're a coach, you look at the halftime stats, you see 65% shooting, and you don't even factor in the 4 for 4 from three-point range. That's incredible. You know that that's going to drop down some. So if you just hang in there tough, if you guys can start, if our guys can start hitting a few more shots, I'm sure Larry said, hey, we're in good shape.
Mario Ellie has 6 points in this game, his first trip to the line.
22, Rod Higgins.
David Robinson resting on the bench.
And with Robinson on the bench, this is a time for the Warriors to buckle down and try and get a little run. Force Brown to bring him back in the ballgame quickly.
Basically 4 guards and a forward on the floor.
Oh, wow.
The foul goes against Sharunas Marciulionis.
Sharunas came up and gave a little bit of a bump, and then you could see the Pressey got upset and pushed it away. Here's Sharunas. He gave a little push. There he is, a little forearm, and then he just throws him out of the way. That was pretty darn good defense. That's the way you play people in this league.
They're booing at the Oakland Coliseum. I think these fans are nervous as their Warriors lead has been cut down to 2. Golden State's shooting percentage in the second half has dropped from 65% to 38%. Pressey with an opportunity to tie. Only 2 players to score for Golden State in this quarter have been Chris Mullin with 8 and Ellie with 4.
And Ellie's worried on the bench. I can just take a look, and his body language showing he's a bit concerned.
He told us today that this is the game. He said there's no question this game with the series tied 1-1 at Golden State was the key game in his view of the series. Ten to shoot for the Warriors. Got a hold away from the ball against San Antonio. It's on Terry Cummings. Make that Pressey.
Yeah, Pressey was holding Mullin as he's making a cut across the middle. Good back cut.
From Marciulionis from Hardaway.
Turn your head, defender, you go to the basket.
Wingate.
Bad shot.
Big board by Marciulionis. Very athletic player. Kicked it to Mullin for the open 17-footer. There's the penetration and the kickout.
See, the Spurs playing a little bit into the hands of the Warriors right now by coming down, taking that bad shot by Wingate. You cannot afford to do that on the road. They've got the crowd back in the ball game again.
Warriors up by 5. Mullin has 21.
And David Robinson's going to have to come in again.
Strickland found the lane open, but was stripped. Bad pass, Mullin. Good play, Anderson. How about Higgins knocking it out of bounds with 20 to shoot? Mullin's slow to get up, but he's all right.
Now, he's mad at himself. He knows he made a bad pass. He had Marciulionis wide open on the left wing who could have gone in for the easy shot. He threw the ball behind his teammate, and the ball was taken away.
Tyrone Hill checking into the ball game for Mario Ellie.
But here we go again. Strickland's in. Marciulionis got his hand in there to strip it away. Now here comes Chris. He's going to try and get it to Hardaway. Bad pass. He threw it behind him. Good hustle by Anderson. But on the left wing, you didn't see him. Marciulionis was there wide open. Down the other end, they stripped it from Cummings.
Strickland left open in the corner. Rebound Mullin.
They just can't even buy one from the outside, can they?
This Mullin with 5 rebounds. Higgins, he's a good three-point shooter. Not this time. Marciulionis hard to the hole, called for the foul. Oh, they're up on their feet here.
Well, he just crashed into Strickland on that play. Made a good effort to try and keep the ball alive. You say he plays very physical. You can see he's quite well developed, very strong. Well, watch the play. Watch the left side. He comes in. Strickland standing. Doesn't even try to screen him out. Now he comes, knocks him away, and his body carries it into him. I tell you, it's a little close. I mean, it really wasn't as much as a foul as it looked like from here. When you get a chance to watch it on replay, of course, you can see that. But he did hit him. No question about it.
Rod Strickland has 11 points now. Remember, he had only 4 at the half. 12 now. 8 points in this quarter for Rod Strickland. 2:53 remaining. Anderson knows Marciulionis wants to do that and then that.
Good defense that time.
Mullin from 19 with 7 to shoot. Had an opportunity for another option there. Cummings inside, posted against Higgins. And all of a sudden, it is a 1-point Warriors lead. They had built it to 6 after it was tied at 75. Ellie about to be back into the game for the Warriors. Marciulionis pulls up. Warriors could lose the lead.
2 minutes remaining in the period.
Steal by Marciulionis. Good lead pass by Mullen, but here's Cummings with a steal.
Tell you what, the official didn't get in good position to see that play.
Cummings for three.
Good play on the part of Cummings to hustle down there. Boy, that's a big save. And then, of course, they go down and they can't capitalize on it.
San Antonio ball.
First in the last 2 minutes.
I checked that Golden State ball.
Number 40, Willie Anderson, his fourth personal
Willie
foul.
Anderson with the foul.
That's forearm, really.
Warriors not taking very good care of the ball.
That was a foul on Strickland. He moved right underneath Marciulionis and should have been called for a block on that play.
83-80 Warriors, 1:13 to go third quarter. Mitch Richmond will be back in the game in a moment. Robinson was trying to cut through underneath and ran into a terrible traffic jam, but they kick it out to Anderson for the jumper. Jake O'Donnell with words for Marciulionis. Salunas said das vidanya. And down in his offensive set. Under a minute to go in the third quarter with a 1-point Warriors lead. 7 seconds to shoot. 5, 2. Anderson against Hill. Nice feed to the trailer Cummings. It is now a Spurs lead by 1. Four-second differential in the shot clock and game clock. 6 seconds to shoot. Marciulionis with a very tough leaner. Gets the rebound with 5 and rattles it home. Strickland hit the rim before the buzzer would have counted. The Warriors escaped the third quarter with a 1-point lead. Bad pass from Terry Cummings.
Well, half of TMC didn't come through in the third quarter. Neither Richmond nor Hardaway scored in that quarter, and Mullen, fortunately, was able to at least maintain that one-point advantage after leading by, what was it, 6 at halftime.
Spurs have 12 turnovers. Golden State 17 in this game already. Final 12 minutes, 1-point Warriors lead. Having trouble executing on the half court. 5 to shoot. Hill for 3. He had no idea how much time was left. Somebody yelled at him, shoot it.
See, the Warriors just aren't executing as well. That was not good execution with Hill winding up with a three-pointer at the shot clock going off.
There's a mismatch. Cummings with Ellie. 10 to shoot for San Antonio. Marciulionis with the foul. He has 5.
13.
Tolbert checks in for Tyrone Hill.
You have to admire the patience and the poise of the San Antonio Spurs in this ball game. They have just stuck with their game plan, worked very hard, and done an outstanding job of getting back in. They've gone inside where you usually win ball games. They're hitting a couple of outside perimeter shots now. And the Warriors just have cooled down and have not executed well. The Warriors have to blame themselves. Turnovers. You know, give the Spurs some credit, too, with some of their defense. They've been doing a nice job on that here in the second half. But it's been a total turnaround. The Warriors have not regrouped since the last 2 minutes and 36 seconds of the second quarter. They haven't played that well.
It was tied at 75. Now it's tied at 85 with 10:57 remaining in the game. Mitch Richmond finally gets a basket. He has been dry since halftime. Richmond had no points in the third quarter. Cummings posted inside, stripped away. Marciulionis. What a move to the hole. He has 17 points.
And it was Ellie who knocked that ball away from Cummings.
Tolbert down there battling Robinson on the baseline. Swarming defense, 5 seconds to shoot on a Golden State foul.
Let's watch the pitch inside. Now, Ellie reaches in right there, knocked the ball away from Cummings. Now, Marshallonis is going to make a great move. He's got the left hand to the right hand to the left, back crossover. Didn't put it on the floor, just took the long stride as he had Elliott running to his left. Elliott wasn't able to change direction.
Tolbert picked up the personal, his second. Marshallonis, whom you're looking at there, carries 5 fouls right now, as David Robinson is at the free throw line. Robinson with only 2 points in the third quarter.
I would expect him to get more involved in the offense here. He was the guy that helped carry him through in the first half, and they really haven't gone to him very much here in the second half.
Knocks down the free throws. It's a 2-point Warriors lead with 10 minutes to go in this game. This series is tied at 1 game apiece.
Got away with the travel.
Hardaway with a triple team, and they call him for a double dribble.
Poetic justice. Because Ellie walked.
Jake O'Donnell with the call. Elliott backs away from Marshallonis. Rebound Tolbert.
See how flat that shot was? Caught the front rim. That's what happens when you shoot it flat.
Mullen got a brief rest. He'll be back in a moment. Richmond opens. Oh, he'll drop that on you. He's hit his last 2 field goals after going for a donut in the third quarter. Timeout San Antonio as the Warriors build a 4-point lead. 9:25 remaining in the game. Well, Hardaway struggling offensively, missed his last 6 field goals, hasn't scored in 20 minutes. Richmond's coming back and has hit 2 in a row. Mullen also has 21.
Tolbert runs interference, kicks it out to Mitch, and he drops it inside. But I'll tell you what the Warriors need more of, Bob. Obviously, shots like that help a lot. But they haven't been able to get those easy transition hoops and those layups off of some turnovers or missed shots on the part of the Spurs like they did in the first half. You need to get some easy baskets. You can't expect to win all the time having to take those kind of jump shots.
Marshallonis and Tolbert join Ellie, Mullen, and Richmond on the floor. Hardaway resting.
Good timeout by Larry Brown. He knows his team can't afford to fall behind by too many points and have to fight from behind again, so he wanted to make sure they knew what they were doing, trailing by 4.
Now Robinson trying to get clear down on the baseline. Anderson clear to the hoop. What a block by Richmond! Trying to draw David Robinson out of the middle is Tolbert. Here's Richmond from the corner. Look at that stolen rebound by Mullen. He has 6 rebounds in the game to go with his 21 points on a new shot clock for the Warriors.
Yeah, Elliott looked to try and go a rebound, didn't screen Chris off, and he snuck inside baseline.
Now Robinson had to come out on Ellie. Got the block shot, no whistle. Richmond from long range. That's a 2. Richmond has 22 points. He was scoreless in the third quarter. And Anderson against Ellie. Ellie right in his face. Rebound Tolbert. Got away with a dangerous pass there. Marshallonis on the transition. He has 19.
And that's the kind of baskets we were talking about. The crowd's back in it. Now they're down by 8. The deep hole may take effect right here. We'll watch again. Tolbert kicks it out. Dangerous pass, almost picked off by David Robinson. Ellie with the kick over to Marshallonis, who loves to go strong to the hole. He's a little pumped up. We get a chance to see it on another angle. You saw how Robinson almost came away with the big play there. Marshallonis got the defender, Elliott, coming towards him. Knife to the side. No foul called as they had the body contact.
Golden State on a 6-0 run after the San Antonio timeout. 8:01 to go in this game. Warriors 95, Spurs 87. Anderson, Strickland, Elliott, Robinson, and Pressey on the floor for San Antonio.
Still a lot of time for San Antonio. They don't have to be in a big rush. Just keep hammering away.
That was blocked by Mullen. Warriors ball. Cummings back into the lineup for San Antonio. Pressey will sit down.
Now the Warriors just have to continue to execute their game plan. Spread the floor out, get good shots. Use up some time on the clock.
Richmond to Marciulionis, 10 to shoot. Here's the drive. Stripped away by Strickland. Nice play. 7 on the clock for the Warriors.
Boy, but again, Marciulionis able to get by the initial defense, get to the basket. Strickland fortunate to be able to knock that one away.
Explosive off the dribble. 5 to shoot. Does Tolbert know it? Yes. Fade away. Big bucket by Tom Tolbert.
And it gets it up to double figures, boy, and that makes it so tough to fight from behind on the road.
San Antonio has not scored a field goal this quarter with 7:14 to go in this game.
Big play by Robinson on that save.
Strickland gets the basket, has 14, 10 in the second half. Warriors by 8.
And they'll use up the clock, try to get something going to the hole, and kick out if you don't have it.
Tolbert on the drive against Robinson. Kicks it to Richmond with 2 to shoot. This is for 3. At the buzzer on the shot clock, Richmond buries the triple.
Even Nelly signaled 3 on that one.
Warriors with 100 points. Cummings with a rebound. Back to Robinson. Quieting the crowd. And that's something. This is a noisy arena. The enthusiasm of the middle and late 70s Warriors with Rick Barry and company is back on this playoff series. All the Golden State teams get compared to those Warriors teams, Rick, as you well know.
Well, they've been waiting a long time.
Look at a cut by Marciulionis. He missed the basket but drew the foul.
See, again, they like to play. Nelly has them and teaches these guys to get good angles. Spread the floor out. Make the cut so that you have good angles towards the basket. And they have guys who are unselfish and will pass it. Here, watch it. See, he got Strickland, turned his head, and he cut past him. We've seen that all night long on the part of the Warriors. When they execute like that, boy, they can really make it tough on you.
Marciulionis looking to go to the 20-point mark from the free throw line with 5:47 to go in the game. Marciulionis has 20. He has been a playoff surprise.
Major. I mean, he was averaging over 17 a game in the first 2. He's up over 20. He's been fantastic for them.
You hear the applause. That's for Tom Tolbert. Each time he's come into the game tonight, I'm talking about Tolbert, who went to the bench now. Every time he's come in, this Golden State team has sparked. He has 4 rebounds, 4 points, but his emotion has been a big carrying factor. 10 to shoot for the Spurs.
Yeah, the Spurs' inability to hit the opportunity outside jumpers has really hurt them in this ball game.
5 to shoot. Anderson. 3.
Nelson cannot believe the call. Look at Nelly.
And is about to get a technical if he can just keep his lips pried together. Oops, he couldn't. And now he goes over to Jake O'Donnell to vent his spleen. Elliott goes to the line. Foul was called on Ellie, who has 4.
San Antonio, number 32, Sean Elliott.
That would have been a major possession for the Warriors if they could have shut down the Spurs on that play.
Warriors by 11.
And again, the discrepancy there is not that the officials are favoring San Antonio. San Antonio's been trying to hammer it down inside to Cummings posting up, down to Anderson, down to David Robinson, although Robinson didn't get it a lot in the third quarter. They hardly got it at all. And so you're going to get more fouls when you're going down inside.
David Robinson has 23 points in this ball game and has not been the dominating factor that a lot of people hoped he would be from a Spurs viewpoint. 5:25 to go in the game. Timeout called by Don Nelson, leading it by 10. Rick Barry's jersey retired here, where Rick Barry led his Warriors to a world championship. You take a look at the statistics in the playoffs for the Golden State Warriors, and you see one name more dominant than any other, and that is of Rick Barry. The only other name that is as evident in there is that of Wilt Chamberlain with the Philadelphia Warriors.
It was nice to see they retired Wilt's jersey in Philly, wasn't it?
Yes. Thurmond, Barry, Sherry, and Adels, the 4 jerseys retired here in Oakland. Marciulionis into the paint again, kicks to Tolbert, to Richmond. Back to Tolbert from 18. Tom Tolbert has only 6 points, but he's hit 3 significant baskets that came at stop the bleeding time, and he's done the rebounds.
Penetration, kick out. Penetration, kick out. The Spurs aren't adjusting.
That's going to rattle in. Elliott has 22. 9-point Warriors lead. Plenty of time left for San Antonio. 4:44. Tolbert out high. Of course, that's to get Robinson out of the middle. Give the chance for the penetration. Elliott has to kick it way out. Only 3 to shoot. Strickland had beaten Marciulionis on that drive and really had the numbers, basically 5 on 4 there, and has 16 points, 12 in the second half, and now it's a 7-point Warriors lead with 4 minutes to go.
Hardaway and Anderson get ready to come in for their respective teams.
Tolbert, not this time.
Bad shot. That was not a good shot by Tom Tolbert at that juncture. Can't afford to do that.
Spurs can cut it to 5. Looking for Cummings down low against Ellie.
Boy, Robinson was wide open and they missed him underneath.
Cummings turnaround jumper.
Shot it flat.
Big board by Mitch Richmond. Ellie has played him tough tonight.
Yeah, what he's done is just denied him position, forced him out a little bit, and just kind of tried to stay with him, not trying to block his shots.
Pressy on Mitch Richmond. They've got Ellie posted against Cummings. He's going to take it right back in there.
That's another bad shot. That's 2 times in a row now. The Warriors have come down and taken what I feel are bad shots at this juncture in the ballgame.
San Antonio gets the timeout with 3:12 to go. The Warriors looking shaky with a 7-point lead. Spurs have their starters out there on the floor now. The lob to Robinson, out of bounds with 17 to go. Mullen played it well, forced David Robinson away from the hoop. 17 to shoot for San Antonio.
At Hardaway, see if he can get hot here in the last few minutes. He's been cold in the second half.
Elliott's just been taking a beating down there trying to stop Cummings on the post. Anderson with the drive. Robinson powers it to the hole. That was a tough basket for David Robinson. Difficult entry pass. He has 25.
Yeah, he made a great reception on that entry pass.
5-point Warriors lead. Elliott right out in Mullen's face. 10 to shoot for Golden State. Richmond trying to get something off the dribble. Into the paint with a fall away. That is a very difficult shot. It's San Antonio ball.
Well, that's 3 times they've come down. 3 times they have not gotten really good shots. So their execution has really hurt them here in the late stages of this game.
5-point Warriors lead. 2:30 remaining.
Yeah, Warriors stood around and just watched Richmond. Nobody was moving to get open that time.
Robinson against Tolbert. All alone is Tom Tolbert. There comes the double team. 4 to shoot. Strickland stripped away by Mullen. Robinson there to get it, but the shot clock goes off as that ball never went up.
Big play of Chris Mullin. We talked about the quickness of his hands. Another great example of it right there. And this time Tolbert did a great job of pushing Robinson away. Look how far he had him from the hole. There you see the play. There's the penetration. Chris right off the top. Boom with those quick hands. And the shot clock, you see the 2, the 1. Too late.
Warriors with a 5-point lead down to 2 minutes to go in this ball game. Warriors with 3 team fouls. Spurs, by the way, with only 1. Bad pass by Hardaway.
Boy, I tell you, the Warriors if they lose this ball game, they beat themselves.
Robinson makes it a 3-point game. And Tim Hardaway, speaking of Hardaway, who's handling the ball right now, he has not scored in the last 26 minutes.
Spurs have hung tough. I really admire the effort they put forth here. And if you're going to beat the deep hole syndrome, you win right down at the buzzer. Looks like that could happen.
Ben Strickland, who was really beaten badly in the first half. Hardaway trying to get one here. Nobody will go to the line.
Well, he used that great move of his to be able to get past Strickland. He had great success early in the ball game.
One Rod Strickland, his second personal foul.
See, and there's a good reason for that stat right there. No points in the last 320. Because they haven't played well. Haven't gotten good shots. Turned the ball over last time. 3 bad shots before that.
Tim Hardaway.
Look at Tim Hardaway. He just owned Strickland in the first half, but it's been Rod Strickland's half here.
Very important free throws. That one especially to get it out of the chance to get tied with a three-pointer, although the Spurs are not a very good three-point shooting team. This is the one that Nelly really wants. Get it up to 5.
And he does, Hardaway. 1:28 remaining. Timeout, San Antonio. 106-101. Warriors, 1:28 remaining in the game. The Warriors have a foul to give. The Spurs will be in the penalty on their next foul.
Spurs got to try and get it quickly. Don't waste a lot of time.
Elliott trying to go quickly to the hole. That foul on Chris Mullin.
Well, they got him to miss, but Sean Elliott has to be credited with a great effort as he made the good penetration move and hustled to get that rebound. Looked like Chris came from behind and caught him across the wrist. Let's watch again. Here's the good drive. Fires it up, misses. See, Chris was out of position. He gets it back. Now as he goes back up, Chris comes from in behind, picks up the foul.
Mullin's first, by the way.
A very fortuitous bounce for the Spurs.
Look at Elliott, 10 of 12 from the line.
Well, I think he's shown everybody the kind of character he has. Got his nose broken. They wondered how he played coming out with this mask on. He's responded very well.
Minute 22 to go. Elliott can cut the lead to 3. And does.
Well, now it turns into the Warriors having to go ahead and execute and score a basket here to put it out of reach. If they don't score here, the Spurs are in great shape.
Hardaway, who's been defensed very effectively by Strickland in the second half. 10 seconds to shoot for the Warriors.
I'd like to see him get a little more movement going here right now.
Richmond open from 19. He buries it.
David Robinson went back inside to try and help. Nobody picked up Richmond. There's the advantage of having good outside shooters.
Richmond has 27. San Antonio just used their last timeout. Oakland Coliseum. 1:03 remaining. No fouls to give for either team. San Antonio out of timeout. The series is tied at 1 game apiece. The Warriors with a 5-point lead. The Spurs with the ball.
Warriors trying to make them use as much time on the clock as they can. The Spurs want to get a good, nice opportunity as soon as they can.
Oh, Strickland almost went over the timeline. Big bucket from Pressey, and that's a triple. The first of the night for the Spurs, and now with 52 seconds to go, it is a 2-point game.
What a great effort on the Spurs to be hanging right in here. Admirable, to say the least.
Strickland picks up Hardaway out here at half court, down to 7 to shoot. Richmond with Anderson in his face. Anderson falls down. Offensive foul, Richmond.
Whoa.
A chance for San Antonio to tie with 37.5 remaining in the game.
Well, I tell you, you don't expect to get that play on the road. Here's the play. Let's watch the right arm. Good pull. He did definitely push him right in the chest. Boy, I tell you, officials right on top of that one.
And not exactly a popular call.
Warriors will get a chance to have the last shot should the Spurs tie this ball game.
10 to shoot. Anderson. Strickland to Robinson against Tolbert. Off the glass. No, he didn't go off the glass. And missed the shot.
And they fouled the wrong guy.
Chris Mullin will walk all the way down for free throws. Warriors leading by 2. 16.1 remaining. I think Robinson wanted to bank the shot, changed his mind, and missed the jumper.
No timeouts, remember now, for the Spurs. They have their these are 20, I think, also, haven't they?
Yes, there are no timeouts remaining for San Antonio at all. That, by the way, talk about Robinson missing a big shot in case you think he misses the big ones. Well, that was his only miss this entire fourth quarter.
2 shots.
Missed it. You could tell when he let the thing go, he was long and left.
With 16 to go, if he drops this, it'll give Golden State a 3-point lead.
Smart defense now. Don't let him get a 3-point shot. Play up on him, force him inside. They have no timeouts.
Strickland for 3. 4 seconds. Robinson for 3.
And hit the clock.
With half a second left, it's Golden State ball with a 3-point lead. That free throw by Mullen was his only point of the quarter. This game is over. The Warriors take a 2-1 lead over the Spurs. They're dancing in the seats here at the Coliseum.